friends, and welcome back to another bookish video. You don't want to see the state of my living room right now. I have all of the books, every single book that I own, laid out just everywhere. On the floor, on the console. It is just looking very messy. And the reason why is because today we will be organizing my very first bookshelf. I finally have a bookshelf and I couldn't be more excited about it. I have been wanting to get a bookshelf for the longest time and I was always just pushing it back. I was postponing it. But then the other day I was talking about the bookshelf that I want to get with my godfather. My godfather is pretty much my second dad, but my godfather is a very talented carpenter. He can build any piece of furniture you can imagine. He can build wardrobes, kitchens, cabinets, bookshelves, you name it, he can build it. And I was talking his ear off again about the bookshelf that I want to get. And he was like, give me the size of a bookshelf, give me the dimensions, I'm gonna build you one. I wanted a pretty basic white bookshelf, the one that almost every book girly has. I wanted the Billy bookshelf from IKEA and he built me a pretty identical one. I just asked him to change the dimensions just a bit. So in today's vlog, we will do all the bookish fun things. We will organize my bookshelf. I will give you a bookshelf tour. We will do lots of reading and I also have a little book haul to share with you later on. And let's start with a couple of reading updates because I'm currently reading 2 books at the moment. Grab your tea, your coffee, and let's quickly talk about my current reads. So first things first, let's talk about the fun, cute spring book that I have been reading. I have been reading The Strawberry Patch Pancake House by Laurie Gilmore. This is part of the Dream Harbor series. So if you have seen the Pumpkin Spice Cafe book, yes, this is one of the rest of the books in the series. I know that this series and these books are not the most fantastic pieces of literature, obviously, but they are fun, they're cozy, they're sweet, they're romantic, a little bit spicy, and they're just a good fun time. When I want to read something fluffy and maybe something more lighthearted, I can count on these books. Even though our main characters do have their things going on, but they're just sweet, cute books, lighthearted for the most part, that I enjoy reading from time to time. So I'm almost done with this one. I don't know if you can see where my bookmark is, but I don't have much left. I think that I might finish this today. Is it my favorite book out of the series? So far, I don't think so. My favorite is hands down The Christmas Tree Farm. So in this one, we are following Archer, who is suddenly a single dad. You will find out if you read the book why he's suddenly a single dad. And he moves to Dream Harbor to raise his daughter. He is a very talented chef. He used to live in Paris. He used to work in this top-notch restaurant. He's just a pro and he had goals, ambitions. He just wanted to get a Michelin star, I think, or he wanted his restaurant to get a Michelin star. I don't know how this thing works. I don't normally eat in these type of restaurants, but now he has to step in, be a dad, and he has moved in. He has started a brand new life. And there in Dream Harbor, he meets Iris. She is a sweet girl, very active, very fit. She's also teaching fitness classes. She's also teaching classes for elderly people, but she has a fear of commitment because of her upbringing, and you get the idea. Archer needs a nanny and Iris needs the money, so she becomes the new nanny, and you get the drill. I love so far the daughter, Archer's daughter, the little kid. She's so cute. I love reading about her. She's adorable. And Archer and Iris are cute, but they're not my favorite Dream Harbor couple. But this is a fun read. I have been having a very good time reading this because it also has such good spring vibes. So if you want a book to give you some spring energy and spring vibes, this is definitely a good recommendation. And the second book that I have been reading is very different. It is a fantasy book and it is Glow of the Everflame, which is part of the Kindred's Curse saga. This is book number 2. The first book is obviously Spark of the Everflame. So I think that a lot of people are familiar with Spark of the Everflame. I really liked the first book. I think I gave it 4.25 stars or 4.5. I don't remember. But now I am, let's see, around 30% into this book, 28% into this book. I am on page 180 and I feel like our FMC DM has started annoying me just a tiny bit. It feels like she's all over the place. Some of the things that she does and she says are just questionable. And then on the other hand, I get it. She's just a 20-year-old that has so many intense things being thrown at her. Maybe it's not DM herself. Maybe it is some of the author's writing at some parts. The writing is nice. I'm not complaining about the writing, but there are some parts of DM's inner dialogue. This is not going to be a spoiler or anything, but she keeps on thinking, or her inner voice is saying, fight, fight, fight. And there was a part that it just got too much. I read the word fight with bold letters like 100 times. I mean, enough is enough. You either fight or you shut up, you know? It was just a bit annoying. Also, the MMC Luther, I think he's charming, but I'm not obsessed with them at the moment. They're not a hot couple. I mean, they're not a couple. I'm not seeing it so far. I think that once things will fall into place, they might be a cute couple, but so far, at least he's not feeling like a supportive character anymore, because in the first book, the main guy, Luther, he was just a supportive character. Supporting character. I'm having an okay time with this one. Hopefully I will love it even more. But enough talking. Let's get to organizing my very first bookshelf. So excited. Alright, so this is my new bookshelf. I hope the lighting is not too awful. I had to close off these blinds because you couldn't see me. So this is my new bookshelf. Oh, what do we think? I love it. It is wide, it is cute, and it is ready to store all of my books. I will give it a quick dusting because it has been a couple of days since my godfather built this bookshelf. So we'll give it a quick little dusting and we will start organizing it. So I don't have a specific plan about how I'm going to organize my books. I definitely want the top shelf to be my SJM shelf. So we'll put Throne of Glass up here, the only ACOTAR book that I have, and Crescent City. At some point, I need to buy all the rest of the ACOTAR books because I had listened the first 3 books, or 4 books in audiobook, and I only physically read A Court of Silver Flames. So that's the only copy that I have physically. Then I think that I should have my fantasy books here, maybe general literary fiction here. We'll see. I will just wing it. I will start the organizing process and I will be right back to give you the final tour. What do we think? This is the final result with minimal effort, I have to say. I didn't really think about it. I just threw the books here and there, and I think it looks pretty fine. The important thing is that I can finally display my books and my favorite covers and just my favorite reads. Don't get it twisted, not every single one of these books is a top 5-star book for me, but I mostly like these. Since I haven't unhauled them, I like them and I want to keep them so far. So I did end up adding Sarah J. Maas's books on my top shelf. Then I definitely wanted to display Divine Rivals. I love these covers. I know that a lot of people don't like covers with people on them, and I agree. I don't like covers with people on them, but these look like animations, like cartoons, and I love that. Then I love the cover of The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, and I had this gold compass. I think that's how it's called, and I think that it looks very nice. Also, if you have read the book, it just goes, you know, a compass with Addie, it just matches. Then I have some of my favorite fantasy reads over here. So we have Belladonna Foxglove and the Powerless series. On the third shelf, we have more of my favorite fantasy reads. Of course, I had to display One Dark Window and Two Twisted Crowns. I feel like Elspeth is me, you know, her wearing red, having this type of hair. I just have this delusion that I could be casted as Elspeth. When it comes to the Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches, I feel like it doesn't go with the dark fantasy theme that we have here, but this is a fantasy book, so I just kept it here. I mean, it's a cozy fantasy, but still. Of course, I had to display When the Moon Hatched, a 5-star read, 6-star read for me. I loved When the Moon Hatched. Then on the fourth shelf, I added general fiction books, historical fiction, sci-fi, fiction with magical realism. I have a little stack of Kazuo Ishiguro right here because I love his books, even though I wasn't the hugest fan of Clara and the Sun, but still. I love his books and his writing. Let me just sit for a moment. I'm still in frame, I think. So here I have my girl Taylor Jenkins Reid. I am such a huge Taylor Jenkins Reid fan. I think that she cannot write a bad book. So I have her books right here. And because I feel like The Favorites by Lane Fargo has a Taylor Jenkins Reid vibe, I placed it here too. So we have Taylor Jenkins Reid and Lane Fargo together. Then the fifth shelf has romance books, and romance books normally have the type of covers that I'm not really crazy about, even though the Dream Harbor series just have the cutest covers, but I prefer darker covers. I would love to have a dark academia bookshelf, and in reality I would love to have a black bookshelf, but I think that it doesn't go with my living room, so that's why I went with the white one. And then on the bottom shelf I have the Vampire Academy book series because I was a huge Vampire Academy fan. Where is the first book? Where is the first book in the Vampire Academy series? Oh, okay, I just remembered. It is sitting underneath my boyfriend's laptop so the laptop doesn't overheat. So I have the first series that I fell in love with when I was a teenager down here, Vampire Academy. I also loved Twilight. Let's be real, I was a Twilight girl. I was Team Jacob forever, but I didn't bring the Twilight series from my family's house here because it will take up too much space and I don't think that I will ever read it again. And honestly, if I had to choose between Twilight and Vampire Academy, I think that I would choose Vampire Academy. I was obsessed. Rose and Dimitri. And I also have some self-help, self-development books down here. I love Ikigai. I have read that book 3 times and I love the cover. And I also have the Infernal Devices trilogy down here. I have the box set and I keep it down here. It was not my favorite series, but then at the same time, I don't want to unhaul it. There's something about the series that even though I was not vibing with the main girl, Tessa, and blah, 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 I liked something about the series. It had a little bit of a dark essence, you know, taking place in England in the older days. It just had a very nice energy, a very nice essence. So I want to keep it. But what do we think? This is the final result, the final look of my very first bookshelf as an adult. If you think that I should move something and you have any tips or ideas about where I should put a book, or if something doesn't look that good, I don't know, let me know in the comments. Alright, so now that the bookshelf is done, I will sit back down and I will continue reading my books. I think that I will continue the Strawberry Patch and I might do Glow a bit later. I will finish my cold coffee and also my sister will come in a little while so we can hang out and do some things on my laptop that we have to do. But until she comes, I will continue reading my book.
In a world of green, just like a dream, you and I standing wild and free, with petals so golden, the sun's warm kiss, a love so strong, a bliss. Whispers of the breeze, secrets unfold. It's you that I need, it's you that I want.
Catch me always sitting at the spot so you can see my bookshelf in the background. It is many hours later. We are well into the evening. I look different because I got ready. We are having a girls' night out. We are celebrating my sister's birthday tonight. So it's gonna be all us girls having fun out. But I have a reading update. I finished the Strawberry Patch Pancake House. Before I tell you about my reading update though, while I was getting ready, I was thinking that, am I weird? Sometimes, you know us girls, when we get ready to go out, we listen to music. And you can catch me listening to some Daddy Yankee every now and then, some Gasolina. But a lot of times, like tonight, you will catch me listening to songs like this one. So yeah, sometimes when I'm getting ready to go out at night or when I'm doing my nighttime skincare routine, when I'm taking a shower, I'm listening to the Phantom of the Opera soundtrack. So like I mentioned, I'm finally done with this book. I will give it a 3.75. I was not over the moon while I was reading it, but it was not bad either. It was a nice spring romance. The spring vibes were here. I loved that. But I feel like nothing will top the Christmas Tree Farm, and now I am so excited for the final book in this series to be released, because the couple, it's going to be Annie and Mac. They have been teasing this couple from book number 1. They hate each other, or should I say they pretend that they hate each other. We all know that they are in love. I feel like their book might be 5 stars. I have high hopes for it, and maybe that's not good to have high hopes for it from now, because I might end up getting disappointed or whatever. But this one was fine. It was a fine spring romance, not my favorite. I have also made a tiny bit more progress with Glow of the Everflame. I am 31% into the book, so I have only read a few more pages from it. I was 28% before, I'm 31% now. So we'll actually continue reading the book while I'm waiting for my sister to pick me up. And I guess I will see you tomorrow so we can continue reading Glow. I'm not sure if we will start reading another book quite yet. We might, but maybe not. I think I've started enjoying the book a bit more now. I'm curious to see where the story will go, but then at the same time I feel like I low-key have seen this before. Maybe because I have read quite a few fantasy books. I mean, I have not read all of them obviously, but I have read quite a few of them. Maybe now the books will start looking similar to each other and I'm not gonna be a fan of that. I love fantasy books and romantasy, but I want it to be unique and different. I mean, I know that a lot of things will be similar like other books that I have already read. Let's move on. Let's just sit here, continue reading my book until my sister comes. I will see you tomorrow. Good night. But also, let me show you my outfit. Okay, you won't be able to hear me very well now because the microphone is facing the other way. But this is the outfit. Just this red top from H&M. My jeans are from a thrift store, but they are originally from Bershka. And I freaking love the boots that I'm wearing tonight. They are cowboy boots, but you cannot actually see them because the jeans are bell bottoms. But they are so cute and I cannot wait to wear them with another pair of jeans or with a skirt or with a dress. They were actually my mom's and she gave them to me. I'm ready to live my cowboy romance dreams with these boots. This is the bag that I will carry, just a plain black little bag, and I'm gonna wear this jacket, coat that I always wear.
I want slow love, uncomplicated touch, stable as we go, consistent as we grow. I want slow love, no need to rush. I'll say it in my dreams, strange as it may seem. I reminisce the codependence, the games that we play, lost our minds. So maybe you could stay.
I think the last time that I spoke to you, I was saying that we would read Glow the next day together, but I did end up finishing Glow, and it's actually 1 week later because life happened. I feel like the days are moving so fast, but the good thing is that I finished Glow and I have my final thoughts on this book. I gave it 4 stars. I loved a lot of the characters, but I unfortunately was so annoyed by our FMC, DM. She was acting so immature throughout the book, and now I get why people are saying that they don't like DM. Now I get it. Because in the first book, I liked her. I wasn't sure why people disliked her that much, but now I can see why. She was so rude throughout different points of the book, but then again, what would I expect from a 20-year-old girl? And we also should keep in mind that huge changes happened altogether in her life. But this is a book, this is a fantasy book, and normally I have it in my mind like this. In fantasy books, I feel like young people are more mature because they go through more hardships. But in real life, yeah, this is a 20-year-old attitude. But from a fantasy FMC, I expected more. It's not like I hate her or anything, but I'm just hoping and wishing that in the 3rd book, she's going to change her attitude because she was low-key insufferable. In a few scenes, she was pissing me off. And also, the ending felt all over the place. It felt like info dump. Is that how it's called? So many things were thrown at us all together. That's what it felt like to me. But all in all, the ending was not my favorite. The start of the book was not my favorite. The end of the book was not my favorite. I liked the middle part, except for DM's annoying attitude. And I also love Luther now. I really like Luther now, and I feel like he deserves better. Anyways, these are my thoughts for Glow of the Everflame, 4 stars, and I'm hoping that I will enjoy the third book. So far, this series overall doesn't feel like a super fantastic favorite series, fantasy series for me. But before I close off today's vlog, I wanted to share a little book haul with you. I have a couple of books that I haven't shared in my channel so far, so I wanted to share them with you. First of all, I got from the secondhand bookstore One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I have read plenty of books that are by this author, and I really love her writing. All of the books that I've read from her are super good, so I wanted to read more books from her. I was just scared to pick up this book, and I think there is also one other book from this author, I cannot remember the title, that apparently are super sad, and I was just avoiding them. But I said, you love the author, you found the book at the secondhand bookstore, so you might as well get it. So in this book we have Emma and Jesse. They are high school sweethearts. They travel the world together, they are experiencing a lot of adventures together, and then they get married. 64 days after their wedding, Jesse is on a helicopter that goes missing mid-flight. And suddenly he's gone. Emma doesn't know where he is. Years pass by. Of course, Emma has been grieving, but she has learned to live again without Jesse. And apparently she falls in love again with another man. She also gets engaged, but suddenly, what do you know, Jesse reappears. And now she has a husband and a fiance. So who is her one true love? Who is she gonna choose? This is not a spoiler. I'm gonna say from the top of my head that she's gonna choose the second guy. I'm not sure. I will have to read it and find out. But what a tragic thing to experience. Lose your husband, years pass by, you learn to live without him, you get engaged, and then he comes back. I wouldn't want this to happen to me. And the second book that I have here is called Hamnet. This was a gift from my sister. And this book, I'm not really sure what it is about. I think that it is about one of Shakespeare's plays. It says that on a summer's day in 1596, a young girl in Stratford-upon-Avon takes to her bed with a sudden fever. Her twin brother Hamnet searches everywhere for help. Why is nobody at home? Their mother Agnes is over a mile away in the garden where she grows medicinal herbs. Their father is working in London. Neither parent knows that Hamnet will not survive the week. Hamnet is a novel inspired by the son of a famous playwright, a boy whose life has been all but forgotten, but whose name was given to one of the most celebrated plays ever written. So this is the second book. I am so excited to read it. It's not a fantasy read, it's something different that I love to read from time to time. Even though I love fantasy, I also love reading this style of books as well, so general fiction. And I also want to show you something very random. I also got these bookmarks, these sticky bookmarks that I can start annotating my books with. I don't really want to highlight pages on my books, but if I love a phrase or something that I read in the book, I want to be able to go back to it easily. So I think that these sticky notes will be very helpful. I'm not obsessed with every single one. I think that I don't really love these two top ones. I think that I love the rest more. But anyways, I'm gonna use all of them. I don't normally annotate my books all that often, almost never. But sometimes when I love something in a book, I will dog-ear the page, and I don't want to do that, so that's why I picked those up. And that is my little book haul. And that also brings us to the end of today's video. I want to start filming another reading vlog now that you will probably see after this video. So we'll say my goodbyes. I want to thank you all very much for watching this bookish vlog. I hope you liked it. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye friends!